Hello, I am Maddox, and I am the tool specialist.
What's up, y'all? I'm Aaliyah, and I'm the filtering and bottling specialist.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm a reverse osmosis specialist.
Hello, my name is Rain, and I am the products and pricing specialist.
My name is Andrew, and I'm the boiling specialist.
Hi, my name is Tristan, and I am the maple tapping specialist.
My name is Adam, and I am the line specialist here at TA.
Hi, I'm Maggie, and I'm the maple tree specialist. First, I'll talk about maple tree health. And one threat to maple trees is an insect called the maple borer, and you can spot trees that have been affected by it because there will be a ring around the tree, as you can see here. The next thing I'll talk about is tree physiology. One part of the tree is the phloem, and the purpose of the phloem is to transport sugar and nutrients up and down the tree. Another part is the xylem, which transports water up from the roots. A common question is, does tapping a tree harm it? And it does not if you tap it responsibly.
So the first thing to do when you're trying to tap a maple tree is to identify the maple tree. And then once you've identified the maple tree, you want to look for any previous tap scars and other scars in general. Previous tap scars tend to look like that, and you want to avoid them by 6 inches either side of it, and do not tap directly above or below it. Even outside of 6 inches, that's the way the wood grain is affected. So you want to, once you find a good healthy section of the tree to tap, you then want to figure out how many taps you can put in it. By organic standards, a tree 12 inches in diameter or more is good for 1 tap. And if you can find a tree that is from 15 to 21 inches in diameter, by organic standards you can tap it twice. If you find one that is 21 inches plus, then you can tap it 3 times, and so forth as you see fit. It's been known to have better sap flow on the south side of the tree, so you want to keep that in mind when you're tapping, but it is not necessary. You want to drill at a slightly upward angle and do it in one fluid motion, and you only need to tap about 1.5 inches deep.
Here in the sugar bush, we use tubing systems to collect sap. Tubing systems were invented in 1914, but were popularized after the 1950s. Systems like this have 3 distinct segments: a drop line which connects the tree to a lateral line which connects multiple drop lines to a main line, and the main line which takes multiple lateral lines into a collection tank. Lines are connected by barbed fittings pressed into the end of the line. Almost always, drop lines and lateral lines are made from the same diameter tubing, 3/16 or 5/16. 3/16 is a newer option, but has the benefit of greater natural vacuum. This allows 10 to 25 trees to be run on one lateral as opposed to just 10. The reason for the greater natural vacuum is because a full column of sap in the line is pulled down by gravity, creating suction behind it. An artificial vacuum can also be installed or run with a wet and dry mainline system to increase the vacuum.
Where it starts is with the DVH tape here, which can help you determine the diameter of the tree, and it helps you figure out how many taps you can have in it. After you've figured that out, you will use a drill here with this big drill bit here to put the hole in the tree that you put the spile into. But before you can put the spile in, you have to use the turkey baster to clean out the hole and any ickies or anything you don't want getting in your sap. Use the spile driver, put it in the spile, and then you can just hammer it in there and you're good. Other very useful tools are, well, I'm going to first do a personal favorite of mine, which is a 2-handed tool here, which is used for connecting lines and connecting spiles to lines. When you're doing that though, you're going to want to use the hook here to attach line to the cable to help keep tension. If you have any problems along the way, that's where the wire cutter comes into play. So you can cut the lines, reattach them, or configure them any way that you need to.
Reverse osmosis is a process that we use to decrease the amount of time it takes for the water or sap to boil. The sap that we get from the trees, it's about 45 gallons that can go through this. It feeds from here into the reverse osmosis machines, which then go into a permeate tank, which is the pure water that we don't want in the sap. And then it feeds into the boiler, which is the concentrate, which is all the sap that has a higher sugar concentrate than it would have if it just came straight from the tree. This process reduces the boiling time, which is a very good way to maximize the efficiency of the boiling and makes it much easier to produce more amounts of sap in a shorter amount of time.
Welcome to the Sugar Shack. This is where we make maple syrup. First, the sap goes into this pre-warmer, then it flows into the pan. The pan is divided into 3 sections, divided by density, and it flows through each pan on its own. This pan is heated by firewood with little fins that drop down, so the flames can go in between them and heat the pan fast. Once this section of the pan reaches 7 degrees above boiling temperature, that's when we draw into this pot. And that also needs to get above 7 degrees above boiling temperature. While it's boiling, we use this tool called the hydrometer, and you fill it up with syrup, drop it in and spin it. Once you can just barely see that red line, that's how you know that you have maple syrup.
So one of the most important parts of making maple syrup is the filtering and bottling process. Got a filter stand right here, a wool cone filter, and a pre-filter on top of that. That's going to catch all your niter, potassium nitrate, also called sugar sand. You're going to pour all your hot maple syrup through there. Bigger operations use a filter press along with diatomaceous earth, but for ours we do not. Once it's in there, you can go ahead and start bottling it up. If you're bottling in plastic, you want to have it at 190 degrees, and if you're bottling at glass, you want to do 180 degrees. After you bottle it, you want to lay it down on its side or even upside down to make an induction seal. With that induction seal, it'll last pretty much forever, as long as you don't crack that seal, and about 2 years in the fridge if you do crack the seal.
One of my favorite things to make with maple syrup is maple candy. You make maple candy by boiling the maple syrup 33 degrees above water boiling point. And then you pour it quickly into a bowl and mix it quickly. There will be a slight change, so you have to watch it. And then you pour it as quickly as you can into a mold like this. And then you let it sit for 5 minutes. Because if you don't, it could be sticky, or it could just go wrong and you would burn yourself. And for pricing, if you were wondering, a bottle like this would cost from $20 to $25, and then a gallon of maple syrup would cost around $60. And also a fun fact that in the U.S., Vermont makes the most maple syrup, and in the world, Quebec makes 80% of maple syrup.